Who doesn't love a good brawler? A rich roster duking out with over-the-top moves, dazzling arrays of animation, and action flying at you thick and fast like 2 rounds of Tyson. Whether you're going alone or trying to claim superiority amongst friends, here are 7 of our favorite iPad and iPhone fighting titles so you can grapple on the go. Time to two-step into a jazz-infused world with cartoonish fisticuffs in Skullgirls. Originally a console release, this is much more than just a simple port. With intuitive controls and ease of play, it feels as though this were a mobile original. But what differentiates this from other side-on smash-ups is the instantly affable world building. Drenched in the big band swing tones and high-waisted trousers of a fantasy post-World War II setting, the colourful cast of characters keeps you guessing at what'll come next, whether it's a 1930s Disney-style animated cyborg or a nightmarish sentient mass. And with an elemental rock-paper-scissors style mechanic in play, you'll be wanting to train your team to be the best it can be. Though it may lack some nuances found in other 2D beat-em-ups, this is definitely one title that'll get your toes and fingers a-tapping. If you're looking for unadulterated clumsy chaos, then look no further than Night Brawl, the zenith of Colin Lane's slightly weird yet instantly engaging brawling games. It's simple really. You move left and right, you jump, you swing your weapon, and you try to knock the armor off your foes, casting them away forever until you reign supreme. Though it may seem basic, the difficulty lies in its simplicity, as you'll have to time your movements for maximum effect, whilst also keeping your own knight in one piece. And with scores of customization options, adding strength and buffs to your gameplay, you'll be able to cut through the hordes at your leisure. Though it does unfortunately lack a multiplayer mode, there's still plenty here to keep you coming back. Sometimes you can get lost in button-mashing mayhem and forget about the art of movement, and Glory Age's Samurais slows things right down, and shows it's not important how many times you attack your opponent, but how you go about it. Set in feudal Japan, taking the role of a lone samurai, you'll cleave your way through waves of enemies set against the backdrop of picturesque idyllic scenes. Rather than jumping straight into the fray, timing and distance is essential, as you'll wait like a coiled viper looking for the perfect moment to strike. Managing your stamina forces you to take a moment to breathe, and the staccato rhythm of gameplay lends itself to a build-up in tension. Though the combat may get a little repetitive at times, this title offers plenty to transport you to a different time, place, and mindset. Punching and platforming go hand in hand like a fist in a glove, and Dan the Man delivers a dose of retro nostalgia straight into your pocket. You'll be leaping, lunging, and locking horns with throngs of foes, throwing punches and projectiles as you attempt to right all the wrongs in this pixelated side-scroller. When you're not tackling mass brawls, where you'll have to time your attacks carefully to avoid receiving a smackdown, you'll be navigating old-school platforming sections, jumping from pillar to post, and trying to sniff out hidden areas and treasures to pad out your wallet so you can unlock new characters and upgrades. You may feel some parts are a little formulaic, but for fans of classic platformers, you'll be in fun, familiar territory brought into the modern day. What's on your checklist for a mobile fighting game? Slick? Fast? Looking like a AAA title? Shadow Fight 3 completes that list and then turns that list into a projectile to attack you with. Building a character up from scratch, you'll be equipping your fledgling fighter with whatever you have on hand and sending them into the fray. But it's not all about going full hand with button mashing. Timing is your greatest weapon, as waiting for the perfect opening to deal damage will turn the tide in your favor, and the game will make a fool of you for rushing in, sometimes quite unforgivingly. There's also a good chunk of RPG progression to get your mitts on, as new armor and weapons open up new abilities and fighting styles, meaning you can tailor the experience to your own personal preferences. The pacing may not be to everyone's style, but there's plenty of gorgeous graphics to look at and a lot of fun to be had. It can be quite daunting picking up a new game and having to memorize all of the complicated combos and button inputs in order to give success a fighting chance, pun partially intended. But thankfully we have a salve in the form of Beat Street, showing us that we can have that old school side-scrolling brawler feel with just a single control input. This cutesy pixelated pugilism title is all about the punching, kicking and scrapping, but all at just the tap of one finger. Swiping one-handed, you'll fight through throngs of anthropomorphic goons in an attempt to clean up the city, all whilst unlocking new ranks to the roster and upgrading your team to really bring the smackdown in the best way. The setup may feel a little repetitive over time, but with environmental hazards and changing waves of foes to keep you on your toes, this is the perfect title to give your thumb a workout. Boxing Star puts you right into the action, ducking, dodging, and uppercutting your way to victory, all wrapped up in a gorgeous visual and gameplay style. You start from the bottom, scrapping on the streets in order to get a bit of money together to pay for rent and your girlfriend's gaming habits, and slowly make your way up through the ranks. Despite its cartoonish appearance, the balance of in-bout fatigue and timing your attacks make this a surprisingly realistic boxing sim to get your hands on. Each character has their own unique look and feel, making the whole experience truly dynamic, and with the controls focused squarely on your punching prowess and dodging deftness, you'll be floating like a butterfly and stinging like a bee in no time. And that was our pick of some of the top fighting games available on iPad and iPhone. Do you agree with the choices? Are there any titles that you feel are more deserving? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time.